was brought to my attention after I posted my recent video Eurogig that I'd made a mistake, and I said at the beginning of that video that the information I was putting across wasn't easy to digest, and I think that proved my point. It can be pretty confusing, and my attempt at making it simpler failed. I only actually wound up making it more confusing, so I'm sorry about that. I challenge one of you out there to make a video about the 3 institutions of the European Union that make it simpler. To clear things up, I'm going to highlight where I went wrong so that hopefully none of you make the same mistake that I did. Before making my last video, I read this piece of information from the EU's official website. The Council of the European Union, which represents the member states, is the EU's main decision-taking body. When it meets at heads of state or government level, it becomes the European Council, whose role is to provide the EU with political impetus on key issues. So basically what I did was I got the Council of the European Union confused with the European Council. Can you see why that could have happened? The Council of the European Union is informally known as the Council of Ministers, which is comprised of 27 national ministers, 1 per each state. Which ministers actually attend the council will really depend on which topics are under discussion. So the agricultural ministers will attend council meetings that are all about farming or other agricultural things. And it is this Council of Ministers that shares the responsibility with the Parliament for making legislation and setting the budget. But the European Council is the heads of state of each member nation. It's the highest political body in the EU. It doesn't have any formal legislative power like the European Council of Ministers, but does deal with the major issues and has great influence on defining political guidelines of the EU. Do you know what, when I said earlier that I challenged one of you out there to make all of this much simpler, I was deadly serious. I mean, I'm an intelligent person and I'm really struggling to get my head around all of this. If we've got a Council of Ministers that effectively represent the government and hold all the power, then why do we need a European Council? Confuses the hell out of me. So please, if somebody can do a better job at breaking all of this down than I can, then I beg you, please do it, if for my sake, if not for other people's. It doesn't have any formal legislative. It doesn't have any formal legislative.